Hey guys, it's Allie, and today I am going to be talking about the books I want to read this October. Now, I have a pretty ambitious TBR for this month. There are like 7+ books on this list, and while it's pretty big, I think I can do it. I always get in the reading mood during October because, hey, it's Halloween. So I just want to read a whole bunch of Halloween books. Like, every single book on this list is a spooky read except for like one, so I am just really excited to talk about these books, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the first book I want to read is a classic Halloween book, and that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I surprisingly haven't read. I honestly don't even know that much about this. I just know that it involves a monster, and that's it. Literally, that's it. I've never read this. And nobody really talks about it, so I just figured this would be a very classic one to be reading this month. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I ordered this from Rock Paper Books about a week or two ago, and I am just a fan of this entire cover action that's happening right here. They always make these really beautiful covers of classics. That's what Rock Paper Books does. They just repackage classics, and I am determined to own every single one of their books. But again, very excited to read this. And the next book I want to read is The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. For obvious reasons, this is the creepiest series I've ever read in my life. I started reading this like a couple weeks ago, and I had to stop because I was getting so freaked out by it. I made it 67 pages into this, and then I stopped because I was like, I need to read this around Halloween. It's just something I gotta do. So I am really excited because this just screams Halloween for me. But this series follows Mara Dyer, a girl who kind of thinks she has powers, and she's not sure if she's actually killing people or not, and because she's an unreliable narrator, we don't know if she's actually killing people or not. So it's just a really freaky psychological thriller type of book, and it's so good but so creepy. But I am so excited and very apprehensive about this because it's gonna freak me out. Probably best not to read this at night, right? Next 3 books I want to read are actually a trilogy, and that is the Forbidden Game trilogy by L.J. Smith, which consists of The Hunter, The Chase, and The Kill. These are 3 relatively short books, but I'm cheap, so I got the bind up. And I have already read this. I read this the first time like a couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. It is very creepy, but like not too creepy. It's not like Mara Dyer creepy, but it is really, really good, and I've been meaning to reread it for like ever, so I am just really excited to do that because I freaking love this trilogy. It's so, so good, and it's so underrated. Nobody ever talks about this. This was released like back in the 90s, but it was L.J. Smith, so I, read it because she's one of my all-time favorite authors. She also wrote The Vampire Diaries, just for information, and I am just really excited. This, without giving too much away, is about a game that these idiot teenagers decide to play, which actually puts them inside the game, and they have to encounter all their worst fears. It's so creepy, but it's so, so good. And it's also a love story. And I was rooting for the horrible, horrible guy, because I'm a horrible, horrible person. And nice guys bore me. We're just gonna let that go out there. Nice guys bore me. So, but I am just really excited to finally get to reread this. Next book I want to read is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs, and this is the first book in a series that I have already read. I already love it. It's so good. I haven't reread it like ever. I read this like a few years ago, so I am really excited to finally get back into it. It is told through like creepy photographs, like that alongside the text, and it's just really good. It's too hard to explain, to be honest, so I'm just gonna say it deals with time travel. And it also deals with love and creepiness and creepy monsters. So it just screams Halloween for me. It just gives off Halloween vibes, even if it's not a Halloween story. So I just watched the movie like right before I came back to school back in August, so I've been kind of in the mood to read this anyway, so I'm just really excited to reread this because I haven't done that yet, and it's so, so good. And I just got my friend to read it too. Again, very excited to read this. And the next book I want to try to read is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard, which, if you've been following my reading vlogs, you know I've been trying to read this for like a month. I started it last month and I just never finished it. And I really want to do that. This was released this past January. It's the sequel to Truth Witch. And this story just involves magic and, you know, different kinds of witchery like Wind Witches, Truth Witches, Thread Witches, all kinds of witches. And it's just a really, really good book. The world is so unique. I've never read anything like this world, so I am just really excited to finally catch up with this series. And the last book I want to read is an audiobook, and that is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This is a book that is set in the 1800s. It follows a bisexual main character who is going on a continent trip. Anyway, so he's going there for like a year with his sister and his best friend Percy, who he happens to be in love with. So I've heard it's hilarious, and it's narrated by the man who plays Tom Riddle in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So I am just really excited to finally get to listen to that, because I heard the audiobook is just absolutely amazing, and I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and I've already read an hour of it, so I am really excited to see where the rest of the story goes. So I am definitely really excited to get into that one. And there you have it. Those were all the books that I plan on reading in October. What is a book that you are most excited to get to next month? Comment down below. I would love to know. And that is going to be it for this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.